Okay, so this is interesting and something I've seen quite a bit of. Sil here, a regular viewer and listener of the channel, appreciate you. Kara Lawson, Duke is getting beat up by non-ranked teams this year with a 3-3 record. Should we be worried? And that is in reference to Team USA. That's kind of been the sentiment I've seen out there. Duke struggles, therefore the wrong coach hire was made for Team USA by Sue Bird. If you're unaware, Sue Bird, now the managing director of USA Basketball, and Kara Lawson, now the head coach of USA Basketball. That going into
The whispers started immediately. A coach, fresh off a losing college season, now leading Team USA. With Caitlin Clark on the roster, the stakes couldn't be higher. Fans online went wild demanding answers. Was this a disaster waiting to happen? The outrage wasn't just about Duke's record, it was about the future of American basketball and the immense pressure on its biggest star. The backlash sparked a viral debate, casting a shadow over the upcoming Olympic cycle and the national team's highly anticipated training camp. The sheer volume of concern quickly became undeniable.
some of these are to ranked teams, but South Florida is a loss as well. West Virginia is a loss as well. So not a great start for Duke. But here's the reason I push back a little bit. Because college coaching to me, a lot of times is just so much more about recruiting than it is about actual coaching. It's about the talent that you have on your team. And I don't know, enough. Let me first of all say I haven't watched enough Duke to say like what the coaching pros and cons have been. And I don't know.
Duke's shocking 3-3 start, including unexpected losses to unranked teams like South Florida and West Virginia, became instant ammunition for critics. How could Kara Lawson, now appointed head coach of Team USA, explain such a rocky collegiate beginning? The narrative formed fast. A coach struggling at the college level couldn't possibly handle the world's elite talent. This wasn't just a poor record, it was a perceived indictment of her readiness for the global stage, sparking widespread concern and fear that Team USA's dominance was at risk.
If it wasn't for Kara Lawson, I wouldn't be thinking about Duke at all. But here's the real truth of the matter. She doesn't have to recruit for Team USA. So any of what I just said is irrelevant, right? Because we already know the roster and talent. So this is about whether she can coach it. And I doubt Sue Bird makes a choice like that without the confidence in Kara Lawson. And I think, there's a level of respect that she's garnered and gained throughout her career. And just take a look at the roster for a second. Here's the Team USA roster for the training camp. This isn't the Olympic.
But hold on. Not everyone was buying the narrative. Experts were quick to push back, highlighting a critical distinction between college and professional coaching. College, they argued, is often less about intricate plays and more about relentless recruiting. The talent pool defines the team's success, not solely the coach's strategic genius. This fundamental difference, they claimed, was being completely ignored in the rush to judgment, distorting the true picture of Lawson's capabilities. Was the online outrage missing the entire, crucial point of the coaching dynamic?
Invite list for the national team, and you can see it's superstar laden. One thing that's super interesting is Caitlin Clark wearing 17, because you're so used to her wearing 22 that it stands out when you see she's got a different number. But I've said for a while, I think this 28 team, we're only coming up on 2026, so there's a little bit of time before the Olympics, but this 28 team is going to be a bit of a dream team, I think. Not quite the same. I don't want to oversell it, because there was such a spectacle to the 92 Barcelona team that went there because, the pros for the first time and Magic and Bird.
Consider the decision makers. Sober, the managing director of USA Basketball, made this pivotal choice with full confidence. To suggest a snap judgment based purely on a few college games profoundly misunderstands the depth of their assessment. Lawson has garnered immense respect throughout her career, earning trust at the highest levels of the sport. This wasn't a desperate gamble, it was a calculated strategic move, backed by profound belief in her leadership and strategic acumen, despite her collegiate team's early stumbles. The backlash seemed to completely overlook her distinguished history.
Oversell it, because there was such a spectacle to the 92 Barcelona team that went there because the pros for the first time, and Magic and Bird and Jordan and Charles Barkley and all that. But I say that because this team will be composed of a lot of the players, namely Caitlin Clark, who came up in this rapid rise era. But you get there in the backcourt, Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers and Juju Watkins, right? The young superstars, along with whatever remaining veterans are still in their prime at that point. So I don't want to call them old guard, but the previous.
Then there's Caitlin Clark, the biggest name in basketball, a phenomenon. Now slated to wear number 17 for Team USA, her inclusion in the national team training camp roster, surrounded by established superstars and emerging prodigies, instantly amplified the coach's scrutiny. Fans weren't just watching Lawson, they were watching every move around Clark, every potential misstep, every interaction. The intense spotlight on the new coach was now magnified tenfold, thanks to basketball's reigning icon, making any perceived struggle a viral sensation overnight.
At that point in time. But the basic premise is it will be a changing of the guard in favor of more dynamic guards, which is kind of the way that the game has gone. And it will be the Caitlin Clark team alongside, the other. I mean, think about that poster. And I know, what did they promoted it, and they used Kelsey Plum and Kalia Copper and I forget who the other one was on the graphic. And some people were like, oh, they're, well, not some people, it was Christine Brennan who said, they should have featured Caitlin Clark on the graphic.
The actual Team USA training camp roster itself tells a powerful story. It's superstar laden, a dream team in the making, featuring names like Paige Beckers, Juju Watkins, and Angel Reese, alongside veterans. This isn't a team Lawson needs to recruit. The talent is already there. Her job is purely to coach this incredible collection of athletes. This crucial fact renders all arguments about her recruiting prowess at Duke entirely irrelevant, shifting the focus squarely onto her ability to manage and elevate world-class talent.
And some people were like, oh, they're, well, not some people, it was Christine Brennan who said, they should have featured Caitlin Clark on the graphic. I don't, I'm not getting worked up over stuff like that. I mean, to me, that was them showing players who were there and won gold in the last Olympics. Caitlin Clark has been invited to the camp. It's, there's no more controversy there. Caitlin Clark will be on the team. Caitlin Clark will be the starting point guard for that team, barring anything strange and out of the ordinary. This is the graphic that was shown that I just referenced. Kelsey Plum.
One fascinating detail that immediately went viral was Caitlin Clark sporting number 17. Fans are so accustomed to seeing her in her iconic number 22 that the change instantly became a talking point, underscoring the intense scrutiny surrounding her every move, even down to her jersey number. This subtle shift highlighted her transition from collegiate superstar to national team member, creating buzz and further embedding her presence into the Team USA narrative, solidifying her status as a constant viral subject.
Look like for the actual Olympics, but she ain't going to be the only coach on the sideline, let's put it that way. And it would almost take active sabotage. The rest of the world's getting better now, don't get me wrong. It's not quite like it is on the men's side, but we saw, France gave the US a run for their money in the gold medal game in 2024. But the rest of the world is getting better. It's no longer the gap that it once was, but it's also not quite where it is on the men's side where, you don't know, no matter how talented the team is. So I wouldn't have too many Duke doubts about Kara Lawson as the coach of Team USA.
Experts predict this new era of Team USA, culminating around 2026 or 2028, will feature a changing of the guard. It's less about the old guard of dominance, and more about a dynamic infusion of young, highly recognizable talent. Players like Clark, Beckers, and Watkins are central to this shift, bringing unprecedented visibility and a new generation of fans. This evolving dynamic ensures that every aspect of the team, especially its coaching and the performance of its rising stars, will be hyper-analyzed. The Dream Team comparison is potent, though cautioned against overselling to the level of the 1992 Barcelona men's squad. However, this new women's iteration will feature a similar cultural impact. It's composed of players like Caitlin Clark, who emerged during this rapid rise in women's basketball popularity. Their presence alone guarantees massive attention, ensuring that any perceived friction, any challenge, or any controversy will immediately explode across social media, becoming an instant must-discuss viral topic. While Team USA has historically been dominant, winning gold repeatedly, this isn't about simply maintaining that streak. The true significance of this roster, particularly with Clark at its center, lies in the unprecedented recognizability of its talent. These are players who have already captivated millions, driving a burgeoning era of basketball. Their collective star power elevates every aspect of the team, including the intense spotlight on the coach, to an entirely new level of public scrutiny and expectation. The roster is absolutely stacked, with names that resonate deeply with fans. Beyond Clark, you have Paige Buckers, Aaliyah Boston, Angel Reese, and Juju Watkins. Jackie Young, another incredible talent, is also on the list. Experts envision a starting lineup potentially featuring Clark, Buckers, and Young. This combination of established veterans and surging young phenoms guarantees an unparalleled level of interest, ensuring every play, every coaching decision, and every player interaction will be meticulously observed. Notably absent from the training camp list were some of the revered veterans like Asia Wilson and Brittany Griner, and potentially future legends like Breanna Stewart, who might age out or transition into a mentorship role by the next Olympics. This highlights the planned changing of the guard and the move towards more dynamic guards, fitting the modern game. This strategic shift further emphasizes the importance of young stars like Clark, solidifying her central, undeniable role in the team's future. Caitlin Clark, barring any unforeseen circumstances, is widely expected to be the starting point guard for Team USA. This isn't just speculation, it's the prevailing sentiment from insiders. This single fact elevates the stakes for coach Kara Lawson beyond measure. Clark's leadership from the point guard position will define the team's tempo and strategy, making her a focal point for all analysis, and by extension, placing immense pressure on the coach to maximize her unprecedented talent. There was a minor controversy that quickly gained traction regarding a promotional graphic for the training camp. Some pundits, like Christine Brennan, argued it should have featured Caitlin Clark more prominently, instead of focusing on Kelsey Plum, Kalia Copper, and Jackie Young. While some dismissed it as trivial, this incident perfectly illustrates the intense public demand for Clark's visibility and the immediate viral nature of any perceived slight or misstep involving her. Every choice is now magnified. The graphic in question did feature Kelsey Plum, Kalia Copper, and Jackie Young, highlighting players who had won gold in previous Olympics. While valid in its own right, the debate underscored the public's thirst for Clark, even before she officially makes her Olympic debut. This highlights the unique viral power she possesses. Any visual representation of the team is now expected to feature its biggest draw, demonstrating the immense, almost uncontrollable force of her global appeal. Another intriguing name on the expanded list is Sarah Strong, a promising young player who might be a rookie by the next Olympics. While rookies historically have a tough time making the final squad, both Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi made the team in their first professional season. This possibility adds another layer of intrigue to the roster build, further demonstrating the influx of new talent and the potential for unexpected inclusions, keeping the fan conversation constantly buzzing. Crucially, Kara Lawson won't be navigating this high-stakes environment alone. She has a robust support staff, including court coaches like Natalie Nakase, Nate Tibbetts, and Stephanie White for the training camp. This signifies a substantial investment and commitment from USA Basketball. While the Olympic staff might differ, it confirms she'll have ample assistance. This collaborative approach mitigates the notion that her individual struggles at Duke would translate to an unprepared solo coaching effort on the global stage. The global landscape of women's basketball is also shifting. While the USA's dominance isn't quite challenged to the extent of the men's game, other nations are undeniably improving. France, for example, gave the US a tough run for the gold medal in a recent competition. This rising competition means Team USA cannot afford complacency. The stakes are higher than ever, and any perceived vulnerability, especially surrounding the coach or a key player like Clark, will be magnified by global rivals. Ultimately, the doubt surrounding Kara Lawson as Team USA coach, largely fueled by her Duke record, appears to be an overreaction. The structure of international coaching, the caliber of pre-selected talent, and the significant support staff all suggest a well-supported effort. To expect active sabotage for this team to fail is extreme. The concerns, though viral, seem misplaced given the full context. The focus remains on maximizing the talent, especially the transcendent presence of Caitlin Clark. The viral conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Team USA coaching staff has revealed a deeply engaged fan base, scrutinizing every angle. While initial reactions sparked backlash over Kara Lawson's collegiate performance, a closer look at the Team USA setup, the sheer talent on the roster, and the crucial distinction between college and international coaching paints a different picture. The real story isn't a coach struggling, but a carefully assembled super team preparing to dominate, with Clark at its electrifying core, ready to carry the torch of American basketball into a new, intensely watched era.